Hey guys, welcome back to the Gloria Living channel. My name is Hannah and today we are in the kitchen and we are baking beautifully delicious chocolate muffins. Let's go check it out. Well guys, I love a good chocolate muffin. They are great for morning birthday breakfast. They're great for holiday breakfast. They're just great for any occasion, any day. They're delicious. And this is a recipe that I have adapted, that I found, that I've adapted to make it a little bit more moist and so it doesn't dry out as much, and I think it's a little bit better, and I want to share it with you today as we come around the holiday season to give you ideas for something you can bake for a wonderful, yummy breakfast for your family. All right, guys. Before we get started with our recipe, make sure you preheat your oven. We're going to start our oven at 425 degrees and we will turn it down during the cooking process. This will help them rise and start getting a beautiful rise on them, but we will finish off the baking with a lower temperature so we don't dry out our muffins. I found this recipe online a long time ago and I've made it and my family has loved it, but I've adapted it because it was coming out a little bit more dry than I was desiring. So I'm going to give you a link to the original recipe because I want the credit to go where it's due. But I do want you to take note that I have made changes to it, and if you don't pay attention to my changes, you might get a little bit of a drier muffin. So I'm going to put my recipe below and also give you the details in this video. Okay, let's get started with our ingredients. So for our dry ingredients, we have an all-purpose flour. We have 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. We have 2/3 cup of cocoa powder. We have 1 1/4 cup of packed brown sugar. Mine is dark, that's usually the only kind I have on hand. 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1 cup of chocolate chips. We'll talk about more details about those as we add them in. 2 large eggs, 1/2 cup of oil. We'll talk about that as well, why oil is important for this. And finally, 1 cup of buttermilk. Guys, I never have buttermilk on hand. I just do milk and add a few teaspoons or a teaspoon of lemon juice. I don't measure, but 1 teaspoon is probably just all you need for 1 cup of regular milk. It's a great substitute. If you watched my biscuit video, I tell you that there. So just a reminder, you don't need to use buttermilk. You can use regular milk and just add that lemon juice into the milk. Let it sit for a few minutes and you have a perfect substitute there. Okay, let's get started with how we make these muffins. We are going to start by combining our dry ingredients first. So once again, 1 3/4 cup of an all-purpose flour, 2/3 cup of cocoa powder, 1 1/4 cup of the brown sugar. I use dark brown sugar. Her recipe called for light, but I only have brown on hand, and so I think that works just fine. 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and then we are also going to add in our chocolate chips. But guys, the recipe in total will use 1 cup. You are only going to add 3/4 a cup of chocolate chips into the dry ingredients when you make it. The other 1/4 cup will be sprinkled on top, and guys, it gives an absolutely beautiful look. You can use semi-sweet chocolate chips, dark chocolate, bittersweet, whatever your family prefers. I am going to put a semi-sweet chocolate chip on the inside, and on top, I'm going to use a dark chocolate chunk. It's just, I like to keep these on hand. I love the dark chocolate chunks in cookies and things. I'm also going to put them on top of the muffin. I just like the way it looks, and I like the dark chocolate. You don't have to do that though. So we're going to put 3/4 of a cup into our mixture here, and we are going to mix this all in together. It can help to put your fingers through. Sometimes there's going to be chunks of brown sugar that you're going to want to kind of smooth out in there, and make sure your chocolate chips get evenly distributed around your dry ingredients. Once we have that there, we'll set it aside. We're going to grab our bowl and we are going to mix our wet ingredients together. We are going to take our 1 cup of buttermilk. Mine is milk with some lemon juice in it. By the way, if you do make your own substitute for the buttermilk, don't be alarmed. You need to let it sit for a few minutes and it will start to curdle the milk. That's just the acid with the milk. It's not hurting it. It's not going to hurt you. It's just the chemical reaction of the milk and the acid of the lemon juice. Okay, our 2 teaspoons of our vanilla extract, and then our 2 eggs. And we are going to beat this in. Okay, now we're just about ready to mix our wet and dry ingredients. The reason I haven't put the oil in is because I have substituted from the original recipe butter. She had a 1/2 cup of butter that she put in. I love cooking and baking with butter. I love butter. We are butter fiends around here. The reality is it just makes a drier muffin. So I understand why some people want to steer away from oil, but it's just going to make a better muffin. So I'm going to put oil in here. It's going to make it more moist, and we're also going to cut back on her baking time. So we're going to put this in here and start mixing this all together. You want to mix your wet and dry ingredients until just combined. Okay guys, we have got our batter all mixed in. Now we are going to put it into our muffin containers here. All right, so when we do this, this is going to call and create 12 regular sized muffins, okay? Well, however you want to scoop this, you can. You could use something like an ice cream scoop, just a regular spoon, or you can just use your spatula. It's a thick enough batter that the ice cream scoop works. And yeah, we're just gonna scoop them and spread them evenly throughout the 12 muffins. Okay, now that we've got our muffin batter evenly distributed throughout the 12 muffins, we're going to sprinkle some chocolate chips on top. You only need about a 1/4 of a cup is what you'll have left over from your 1 cup. I am just going to kind of wing it and put whatever I want on here because I did not measure these ones out, and that's okay. It's just enough to give it a little bit of decoration on top and make sure your muffin tops look really pretty and they have chocolate chips coming out of them, and it just makes them really, really yummy looking. Okay guys, now our muffins are ready to go into the oven. Okay guys, we are going to pop these in the oven at 425 degrees for 5 minutes. And then after those 5 minutes, we're going to drop the temperature down to 350 degrees for 11 more minutes. And after that, hopefully your muffins should be done. Give them a little test with a toothpick, but be careful because these have chocolate chips in them and it can be deceiving, make you think they're not done when they're totally done, and you don't want a dry muffin. So poke around a couple times, do a few different muffins. My oven gets them done pretty fast. The original recipe calls for them to be done a little bit longer, but when I did that, they became too dry and they were overbaked. So you don't want an overbaked muffin. It ruins the whole point of it and enjoyment of it. So don't do that. But anyways, after this, we're going to show you how beautiful these muffins are. Guys, look at this absolutely beautiful muffin. I mean, it's got the crinkling on top, the chocolate chips around it, a beautiful muffin top, which is my kids' favorite part. Oh, they're so beautiful. Right now, they're totally hot, but we'll try and crack one of these open so you can see the inside. Well, guys, these are going to be awesome. Let's get one open. We'll take this tiny one. It's beautiful. I'll take the paper off. Oh, yeah. It's still so warm. The chocolate's getting all over me. It's so soft. Not dry at all. Oh, yeah. Still see the steam coming out of that. That is not at all a dry muffin. Totally full of chocolate. Great muffin. Not wet, not dry. Just a perfect holding together muffin. So good. It's going to be hard to sell chicken casserole for dinner to my family when they smell these chocolate muffins here, but oh guys, they're so, so good. These are a favorite in our household. Very requested by my son and loved by my husband. Before I started baking these and making the video, he said, do I get to eat one of those tonight or for breakfast, or like, are those being saved? So these are going to be totally enjoyed by our family, and I know they'll absolutely be enjoyed by yours. Well guys, I hope you have enjoyed another family recipe from our house to yours, and I know you guys are going to love these muffins. They are a total hit. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like the video. Please share it with your friends and family. And as always, please subscribe to the channel. Truly, it is the best way to support what we're doing in creating this content for you. Until next time guys, we'll see you soon.